What if the only way to unlock your full potential was to unleash your inner monster? It sounds dramatic, but there's psychological truth behind it. The world doesn't reward passive kindness, it respects strength. And for Sigma males, the lone wolves who operate outside the social hierarchy, becoming a monster doesn't mean turning evil. It means becoming powerful, assertive, and unshakably self-reliant. The concept of the inner monster was explored by Carl Jung, who called it the darker, repressed part of you that holds raw power. When you suppress it, you stay soft, agreeable, and easy to control. But when do you integrate it? You become disciplined, fearless, and radically authentic. This is the edge Sigma males need. Sigmas aren't born to be followers, but even lone wolves can become docile when they fear conflict. And that's the trap. The world will only stop pushing you when you push back. Controlled aggression, strong boundaries, and strategic silence are traits that transform a Sigma from quiet to commanding. Being a monster means knowing your worth, refusing to be walked on, and holding your ground no matter who's in the room. It's not about chaos. It's about control. You become untouchable not by pretending to be fearless, but by training yourself to face fear head-on. When a Sigma taps into this inner fire, people don't just notice, they follow. That's when the true power is unlocked. Are you ready to go full beast mode? Point 1, because the world only respects strength. Let's get one thing straight. The world doesn't hand out trophies for being overly nice. It's a hard pill to swallow, but here's the truth. Society doesn't reward emotion. It rewards strength, influence, and resilience. When you're kind without boundaries, most people don't admire your compassion. They see an opportunity. Instead of recognizing your good heart, they interpret it as weakness. Enter the Sigma male. He doesn't need to dominate a room with noise or flex muscles to prove his worth. His power lies in his silence, in his control. Sigma males embody the principle of still waters run deep. They don't intimidate with threats, but with presence. It's not about it's about what they do, and choose not to. This idea isn't new. It dates back to ancient Greek philosophy with the word which described a trained warhorse, strong, fast, and deadly, yet under perfect control. Meekness in this context isn't weakness, it's dangerous strength held in check by wisdom. Sigma males command respect effortlessly because people sense their potential. They feel the unspoken strength, the storm that stays hidden behind calm eyes. That's why niceness without power is a liability, but kindness with strength, that's influence. In today's world, emotional intelligence is the new superpower. It's not about bottling your emotions, it's about mastering them. You control the tempo. You choose when to fight and when to walk away. Not out of fear, but from clarity. So don't aim to be liked, aim to be respected. Be strong enough to be kind, not because you're harmless, but because you've trained your instincts. True Sigma energy doesn't roar, it resonates. Let them feel your presence, even in your silence. Point 2. Because society loves to control the docile. Ever noticed how easily weak men get manipulated? They follow orders without thinking, they avoid confrontation, they suppress their instincts out of fear. And guess what? Society rewards that behavior. Why? Because it's easy to control. Obedient, predictable men pose no threat to systems built on submission. They blend in, follow the script, and never disturb the status quo. But Sigma males are a different breed. They aren't made for leashes or cages. Still, even a Sigma can be broken if he never awakens the deeper part of himself. The primal edge, the inner fire that refuses to be controlled. This isn't about being a brute or acting out of rage. It's about activating the within, not to destroy, but to protect your freedom. Psychologically speaking, Carl Jung referred to this concept as integrating the shadow, the darker, repressed side of the self. When you face it, you don't become a menace, you become whole. That darkness becomes a firewall. It shields you from manipulation because you're no longer afraid of your power. You know who you are, and you're not for sale. Being dangerous doesn't mean you dominate others. It means no one can dominate you. You become immune to cheap tricks, guilt trips, and emotional traps. Your strength lies in your self-mastery. That's where true power begins. So no, you don't need to yell or seek validation. True danger walks silently. It watches, calculates, and acts with precision, and that's why society doesn't know what to do with a Sigma who's fully awakened. He's not a rebel without a cause. He's a free man with a fire no one can put out. Are you that man, or are you still waiting for permission to be one? Point 3. Because pain builds the monster, and the monster builds you. Let's talk scars. Emotional, physical, psychological. You've got them, Sigmas. And whether you like it or not, you earned every single one of them. Each scar is more than a mark. It's a blueprint to your transformation, a roadmap to the monster you've become, not the villain but the survivor. They evolved, the unbreakable. Pain is a professor, and life is its relentless classroom. Studies in psychology show that post-traumatic growth is real. Many individuals emerge from adversity with more strength, clarity, and resilience than before. The pain that once threatened to destroy you, it forged you. It taught you patience when you were forced to wait, courage when you had to fight alone, and wisdom when silence was your only ally. The monster inside you isn't cruel, it's calculated. It doesn't lash out, it protects. It's built in those moments you were ignored, overlooked, or doubted. You stopped running from pain and you started listening, learning, training. That inner beast is the sum of every sleepless night, every tear you didn't let fall in public, and every time you stayed standing when the world expected you to crumble. It's not a weakness, it's your origin story. So when people see that cold focus in your eyes, that calm in the storm, they don't realize they're not looking at a man who was never hurt. They're looking at one who refused to stay broken. You don't wear your scars, you wield them. Point 4. Because the monster is the guardian of your boundaries. Nice guys often struggle with boundaries because they've been conditioned to believe that being kind means being agreeable at all costs. They say yes even when they're exhausted, give chances even when trust is broken, and stay silent to avoid conflict. But here's the truth. Without boundaries, kindness turns into self-neglect. That's where the Sigma male, or as some call him, the Sigma monster, steps in. A Sigma male doesn't thrive on chaos or aggression. He thrives on clarity. He's learned that not every smile is sincere, not every handshake is honest, and not every person deserves access to his world. That's why he sets strong, unapologetic boundaries. Psychologists call this assertive communication, the ability to express your needs clearly and respectfully without feeling guilty or aggressive. It's a skill that nice guys often lack, but Sigma males master. Being a monster in this context doesn't mean being cruel. It means having the courage to say no, to walk away from manipulation, and to protect your energy. Sigma males don't feel the need to explain themselves to people who don't value understanding. They realize that time is a non-renewable resource, and peace is priceless. According to research in behavioral psychology, individuals who maintain clear boundaries experience lower levels of stress, better self-esteem, and healthier relationships. Sigma males understand this. They guard their mission, their values, and their inner circle like a fortress, not with arrogance, but with wisdom. So cultivating your inner monster isn't about becoming cold, it's about being conscious. It's choosing self-respect over people-pleasing, wisdom over wishful thinking, and solitude over fake connections. It's smiling kindly while keeping your gate locked to anything that threatens your peace. That's not weakness, that's power. Point 5. Because power without control is chaos, but control without power is slavery. Let's dive deep into this one, Sigmas. Imagine for a moment that you're in complete control of your emotions, your environment, and your thoughts. You're like a still lake, calm and composed, unaffected by the turbulence around you. That's a great place to be, right? But here's the catch. Without any real power behind that control, it's just an empty stillness. Picture a cage with no lion. It might look contained on the outside, but it lacks the strength, the presence, and the energy that make it truly formidable. Now flip that scenario. What happens if you have all the power but none of the control? The result is chaos. You might have the strength to move mountains, but without discipline, that power is just destructive, throwing everything into disarray. It's like a wild beast unleashed with no one to rein it in. That's not the Sigma way. The true power of a Sigma male lies in the fusion of both control power. He's not just about being in charge. He knows how to sit in silence and let people wonder about what he's capable of. He doesn't need to boast about his abilities, and he certainly doesn't feel the need to prove himself to anyone. His power is felt through his actions, his presence, and his ability to navigate life with unmatched poise. A Sigma doesn't have to flex, post about his achievements, or even make noise to be recognized. His silence speaks volumes, and that's what makes him truly unstoppable. He operates from a place of deep self-awareness where he knows both his strengths and his limits. He's not someone you can easily manipulate or control because, at his core, he's just too strong to be bent by external forces. This is what separates the Sigma from the crowd. He is the man who is always in control, but that control is tempered with power. Real power, the kind that doesn't need to be flaunted or explained, it just is. And because of that, he can't be controlled. He's not out of control, he's simply beyond anyone's ability to dominate. That's the Sigma's secret. His power is unshakable, not because he forces it, but because he quietly lets it speak for him. Point 6, because the monster isn't evil, it's focused. When most people hear the word monster, they immediately think of something sinister, something dangerous. However, for Sigma males, the concept of a monster takes on a very different meaning. In their world, the monster isn't evil. In fact, it's a powerful and transformative force. It represents their highest form of focus, honed through years of experience and powered by conscious choice. For a Sigma male, channeling his monster is all about becoming laser-focused on his mission. It's not about chaos or destruction, it's about growth and freedom. This focus isn't a fleeting moment, it's something cultivated over time, the result of a mindset that constantly prioritizes progress over distractions. A Sigma's monster is a tool of efficiency. Imagine being able to cut through all the noise and irrelevant details of life like a blade through butter. That's what it feels like when a Sigma fully taps into his power. Distractions, they don't stand a chance. Social events, opinions from others, and even trivial demands, everything that doesn't serve his purpose gets cut out. It's not about being rude or indifferent, it's about choosing what truly matters. Saying no becomes a key part of this process. Sigma males understand that their time and energy are precious resources. The more they say yes to the wrong things, the more they dilute their ability to focus on what truly moves the needle in their lives. Saying no isn't about being closed off. It's about protecting their energy and commitment to their goals. Whether it's relationships, opportunities, or activities, only those that align with their mission get the green light. The monster's fuel is focus. When a Sigma is locked in, he's unstoppable. It's not about pushing harder, but about channeling his energy with precision and intention. In a world full of distractions and noise, a Sigma who taps into his monster becomes an unstoppable force. He's not swayed by the opinions or actions of others. His focus is his weapon. And when he's on a mission, the world better get out of his way. Ultimately, this laser-focused mindset is what enables Sigma males to grow, achieve freedom, and live life on their own terms. When they channel their monster, they become the best version of themselves, constantly moving forward and never looking back. Point 7. Because women respect the monster, even if they won't admit it. Let's talk about attraction. You've probably heard women say they want a guy who's nice, respectful, and makes them feel safe. And yes, those qualities are important. But what often gets overlooked is this. They're also drawn to not because it's threatening, but because it's intriguing. There's something magnetic about it. Attraction is primal. It taps into deeply rooted instincts. The Sigma male embodies this perfectly. Unlike other types who might seek validation or approval, the Sigma male doesn't beg, chase, or compromise his authenticity. He walks his path with unwavering confidence, his presence commanding respect. People either follow him or step aside. It's that simple. Women sense this power and depth. It's not about aggression or arrogance. It's about having the strength to be yourself unapologetically. The Sigma male doesn't need external validation because he's internally driven. This aura of self-assurance combined with emotional depth becomes a magnetic force that draws others in. What's even more fascinating is that embracing this monster persona doesn't repel the right people, it actually filters them out. By being your true, unashamed self, you automatically attract those who align with your energy while leaving behind anyone who isn't on the same wavelength. So remember, attraction isn't just about being polite or playing it safe. It's about owning your power, embracing who you are, and letting others gravitate toward your authenticity. Point 8, because you were never meant to be tamed. Sigmas, you weren't born to be polite puppets in someone else's game. You weren't born to ask for permission to be powerful. The journey of the lone wolf is tough, but it's the path to becoming legendary. Here's the truth. The so-called monster isn't the enemy. It's the final form of who you are meant to be. The monster represents the unfiltered, unapologetic version of yourself, the side that isn't concerned with fitting in, seeking approval, or bending to societal expectations. It's the side of you that says, I'm not here to blend in, I'm here to rise above. Now, many people fear this transformation because stepping into this power means confronting deep-seated insecurities and challenges. The monster isn't something to be afraid of, it's an ally waiting to be embraced. When you acknowledge this raw, untapped potential inside of you, that's when things truly change. The lone wolf path might be filled with obstacles, but it's also filled with opportunities for growth. You'll often face the challenge of standing alone, making decisions that aren't popular, and navigating a world that tries to put you in a box. But those who walk this path understand something most don't. True power comes from embracing your individuality, your uniqueness, and your vision. Sigmas don't live for the approval of others. They live to push boundaries, defy expectations, and live by their own code. It's a liberating existence. They understand that while society may want them to conform, they were never meant to fit in. So, what happens when you fully embrace your monster? It's not about becoming something dark or destructive. It's about unlocking your potential to live life on your own terms, to take control of your narrative and to manifest greatness in your life. It's the part of you that refuses to be mediocre, that pushes through fear and doubt to achieve what others believe is impossible. When you step into this power, you start attracting opportunities that you never thought possible. The world may try to tame you, but you won't let it, and that's the key difference. Sigmas are made to rise. Having said this, it's time to let go of the fear, step into your greatness and rise to the top. The world doesn't need more agreeable men. It needs men who know their power, respect it, and wield it with purpose. That's the Sigma monster. He doesn't destroy for fun. He protects, builds, leads, and defends, with force if needed. You don't need to be a monster 24/7. You just need to have one. When you walk into a room and people feel your presence without you saying a word, that's the monster. When you walk away from toxicity without a backward glance, that's the monster. When you choose your mission over approval, that's the monster. Embrace him. Not because you want to scare people, but because you want to honor your true power. Sigmas, if this video woke something up in you, a fire, a calling, a recognition, then this community is yours. Hit that like button, subscribe, join the tribe. We're not here to fit in, we're here to evolve. And remember, stay true and stay Sigma.